I don't want to fall in love. And I don't want to fall in love with you. Yeah, with you.
Oh, we nailed it!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Near Death Diary podcast. You'd think with that intro that we would be being visited by some succubuses. Cody, how the hell you been?
I've been decent.
Cody and I have been at this 2-a-week pace for a hot second, and we needed a little R&R. So I'm going to go and do some Aya, some Waska, and change hopefully a lot in my life and get a lot out of it. I'm asking for nothing, though. I think that's the best way to go into anything. Meanwhile, I'm sending Cody to do some fishing content
I'm just
on
gonna
the beach.
Sleeping in the hotel.
Well, that's no fun. That's no fun. I put you just a few miles from the ocean.
I can hear it, I guess.
Well, if you choose, it's there.
I can talk to the dolphins.
No, you can't, actually. Remember, we've
I
been over
can
this.
and I will.
Can we get that beautiful dolphin footage from the last Florida trip right here? Look at this. Drone work. Cody's a wizard. So, welcome back to the Near Death Diary podcast. I am your host, Deadeye Two Tongues. Sitting next to me, as always, is the Fogman himself. Both of us are a little loopy from keeping this 2-a-week pace on the podcast, but guys, we love what we do. My brain can't handle it right now. It has been a gauntlet, a labyrinth of keeping up pace with all of this. But guys, we are under review for getting ad revenue.
Oh,
We did that in no time.
ad revenue?
Yeah,
I thought it was ass revenue.
my lord.
I thought I was getting something out of this trunk I've been building.
What do you mean? You're a dumper?
My dump truck I've been
Doing a lot of squats lately. I've noticed that.
I've been taking twerk lessons online.
Man.
Ask Jeeves how to twerk.
Save that. If we put your badonk in a video, then it's a tax write-off, But yeah, Cody has been working on an absolute rumper thumper, just an absolute bag of thunder on them thighs. We might post some pictures on our Patreon. Maybe get a calendar made. Cody, what do you think?
Calendar would be cool.
Yeah, just a calendar of your just absolute dump truck. Yeah, we might end up doing that. Hey, let us know in the chat down below in the live chat. Because by the way, guys, if you're watching this and it is airing right now, we are more than likely down in the live chat. You guys can go down and join us. But let us know in that live chat, should we get a calendar made of Cody's just absolute just clap machine?
Or we'll just get a calendar made of all the artwork from the stories.
Ooh. Well, that's a good idea. Maybe at the very end, though, we can give them a sneak peek.
Something.
Yeah. Guys, we got some amazing stories for you tonight, but before we go into those, we'd like to remind you that we are a young and blossoming channel. We are growing in our social media adventure, and in order to do that, we need people like you to go and support us over on Patreon. Deadeye Two Tongues 740 is how you could see us on Patreon. Signing up to the tiers will give you access to our Discord as well under Deadeye Two Tongues, and you should follow Deadeye Two Tongues on Instagram, Facebook, and also the old TikTok, and support us there. Every little bit helps. Sharing, reposting, liking videos, and subscribing is the key to the social internet growth game, and that, my friends, is what you do. So thank you to those who do that for us on this channel. And Cody, do you have any ados?
We have the stickers.
Oh, yes, we do. Guys, over at Hellfire Holler, our small business and company right here that you could support by going to hellfireholler.com. You could pick up some of our products, but we also just got stickers. I partied with the Puck Wudgie. Yeah, a reference from one of the stories that we had here, sent in by viewers like you. As a matter of fact, that is how this whole channel operates. We tell stories that come from the abyss, that come from out there in the world of the living. And we get those emails of those stories in by viewers like you to hellfirehollerpodcast@gmail.com. That's how you could submit your story and keep the content train a-moving. Thank you guys thank you everyone who has sent in. You guys' stories have all been phenomenal. You can see that on our, other 10 episodes?
Yeah, this will be 11.
I believe this is 11. So you guys can go binge watch the heck out of it. It really, really helps us, guys. If you haven't, go check out all of our episodes. They've been pretty great. And 90% of that is because of you guys. So Cody, any other ados? Any adon'ts?
You don't stub your toe. Nobody step on a Lego or anything.
Yikes.
I feel it. I'm getting visions of someone watching this right now
Oh yeah, Cody has
is
just,
going to
he started like
step
being
on a Lego
clairvoyant,
at some point in their life.
but he just keeps like essentially saying things that are statistically 100% probable. Like right now, someone is being born. It's like, okay, you know. Oh, I can feel the Venus flytrap striking at a fly.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Just generalities.
Yes, it's like,
I'm never wrong.
I've never been wrong.
Fucking Nostradamus. Yeah. Yep. Cody is a seasoned spiritualist, telepath, and psychic medium now. So watch out for that. But Cody, can you telepathically give me a hint as to what our first story is going to be?
I could, or you could just use your eyes and look at the paper
Whoa,
that is in
whoa,
your hands.
Whoa. Did you just plural me? What would that even be? Misvision me? Did you misvision me?
Oops.
Wow.
I thought you lose one eye. I thought like you lose one sense, your other sense would like
Yeah, my sense
take
for
advantage. So I
bullshit's gone
thought
up.
your
I know
eye.
you're
I
lying.
thought maybe your brown eye would compensate for losing.
All right. Well, oh man. What am I holding?
A paper.
This is a first. This is a first on our channel.
Yes, a part 2.
What? We have ourselves a follow-up to the Embrace. Cody, can we give a rundown in our best here, a synopsis of the story titled "The Embrace" from a previous episode?
Some stuff happened. It was spooky. Do you need?
All right, let's get into the story.
Is that brief enough, or do you need more?
I got it. And she's getting used to the neighborhood she's
You're
putting
just
up.
going too much now.
I'm giving a rundown.
Just brief.
You have to give some sort of details.
Yeah, just.
And I'm good at this if you just,
You went to
shut up.
a
If you
yard
just
sale,
stop.
got some stuff.
What about people who haven't heard part one?
Well, go watch it. You don't tell them the whole thing. They need to go watch it.
That is a good point. Watch the first one. Anyway, this chick goes to a yard sale. She buys a ring. The ring is some cursed ass shit. It makes all heck break loose, and she gets embraced. But she is woken up to the sound of the people who were at the yard sale, who are essentially responsible for this ring making its way into her possession. But anyway, they have some air of mysticism to them, and it's hard to know whether or not it was intentional. But if you're watching this one now before that one, it's probably recommended you go and listen to that story and the full episode and comment and share and hit the subscribe button. But this is the Embrace follow-up, a first on our podcast here. Here we go. It says, hello, Deadeye Two Tongues and Cody. Carrie here. Thank you again for reading my story on the podcast. I finally had some time to sit down, and hopefully this will answer some questions I think you and your audience might have regarding my encounter. Sir Cody.
Wait a minute.
That's what it says. I'm just reading what's
I
in front of me.
demand from now on I be addressed solely as Sir Cody. Or Sir Fogman will do.
You're giving
I've knighted myself. I didn't do this. She did this. She's knighted me.
Well, no offense, but Carrie,
I have been knighted.
Do you have the means to
She has
knight
the
someone?
power. I guarantee it.
She could just be being respectful. I think you're
It
blowing
sounds
this out
pretty.
of proportion. Man, things are going to your head lately. Anyway, Sir Cody. I am okay, and things are not always as they seem, so here goes. I think she was just letting you know she's okay or something.
We did go hard on the Bokers because it was like I don't know, just the whole vibe I got was not good, but
Yeah.
But we were open minded a little bit, but it just sounded fishy.
Yeah. Let me preface this by saying that I have never been overly religious or took to any particular denomination, as my views on religion growing up were always conflicting. Raised in a household that had both Baptist and Methodist, and going to Catholic school for most of my early academic career, I was thrown many ideas of religion and belief. Via this experience, I found that there are far more things than God roaming the halls of your life. So after the encounter, I did some research on Bokers. Here we go. Voodoo and the rich supernatural history of Louisiana. I was enlightened, horrified, and intrigued, all in the same breath. Most people would have packed up and moved almost immediately after what I had experienced. But since I had not been harmed, I thought to try to understand, at least on the basic levels of what happened to me. I took some time to decompress and approached it with an open mind. About 3 weeks later, I reached out to Denny and Leroy to sit down to discuss what happened and what their connection to the spirit in the ring was. We met at a coffee shop, as I opted for a public place until I was satisfied with the explanation. I asked polite but pointed questions. Well, I definitely would be meeting these people that seem to have summoned a dark entity into your house. I would definitely meet them in a public scenario, but what if it just happens again, but it's in public?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I definitely would have questions.
Yeah, right. I mean, it would be hard to go throughout your life, especially after they essentially showed up the last time and just kind of almost like gloated about how they knew what she had gone through. Like, oh, we imagine you had a rough day. You probably don't want to hear anything right now. It's like, who just says that? It's like essentially taking a dog that's going to be super harmful, and just like let it loose on the inside of someone's house, and then came back an hour later and opened the door and was like, oh, let me get that. Let me get that dog. Oh, I can explain what happened and why you're bit to fucking back. But you're probably pretty tired. We'll talk to you later. It's like, hell no.
Well, I'm glad she got answers, at least, and we were about to get answers.
Yeah. So she's answering now what seems to be questions that we had from the last episode. Or, maybe that were in the live chat. What's up, live chat? And also in the comment sections. And maybe on our Discord as well, which you should join. So number 1, who or what was the spirit in the ring, and why did it piggyback me home? Denny explained that the entity most likely had been a wandering spirit that had become bound to the ring. Initially, they knew very little about it, but over time, and through various encounters with it, and some mention of the ring in old diaries and documents in the family album and histories, they surmised that in life, it was a person that was a practitioner of the occult or magic, or perhaps a spiritual advisor in an ancient court somewhere that had been murdered along with its sovereigns a long time ago and wandered aimlessly, not being able to cross over. Somehow, it was trapped or bound to the ring, much like how a jinn, like a genie, is bound to an object. It was even thought that this person might have intentionally bound themselves to the ring in case of their death. It seems to be drawn to people that have experienced some great trauma in their past or who have suffered an encounter with death and had survived. They tried to free the entity, but it refused to move on and continued to attach itself to the ring. As far as I know, it still is.
That is a fucking Horcrux.
I mean, these bokers, is this thing just like known for doing this and they still have it in close proximity? Like, why isn't this anodoled? Why isn't this like put behind glass and constantly monitored if it's got this intense, you know? Her previous story starts out with, I was trying to get over some trauma.
And then more got me.
And it's like especially, these bokers being, I guess voodoo enlightened. And, I'm not trying to necessarily cast shade. We haven't read through all of this, but it just seems with great power comes great responsibility. Like I wouldn't have this thing anywhere. It's like, especially if it's finding itself like roping itself into traumatized people's lives. That's just not a good thing to have around. Oh yeah, in the story they're like, this one has a tendency to wander. It's like, that's why Leroy keeps it in his pocket and makes it easy for it to get out and fucking terrify people. Come on. I'm sorry, Carrie. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'm trying to be patient, but I'm just trying to stand up for you. Bokers. That's bonkers. No, I'm not trying to cast shade at the voodoo community. Just the situation. Woo! All right. Why did the spirit want to hug me? That's a good question. Why did the spirit want to hug me? Denny believed that the entity, by its own actions, seemed to be trying to help those in possession of the ring by bestowing a healing hug. The eyeless, like white, or how'd she describe it? White-eyed, silver flowing hair, tattered clothes. It's like, my God. It's like, would you like a hug? Like, no. That'd be terrifying. A healing hug on the owner, lending positive energy by just having it, and sought people to do this too. This embrace seems to bring good fortune, erases clouds of doubt, cures miasmas, and subdues haunting dreams the owner might have due to their trauma. It is almost like it sought out broken people to heal. Now, side note, she says, I was victim of an SA before I moved to Louisiana and was almost killed, so maybe the being latched onto that. Yes, you can share this. Sorry that you went through that. Now, if this spirit is if it sees that and is trying to help you, man, what's with the thunderstorm? What's with the horrifying element to it?
I don't know.
And I guess let's go back to another thing that you stated. Did it seem to give you good fortune?
I imagine we'd get to that. But then also there was the record, and then also, well, she might talk about it, but the record, and then it said some sort of, what did it say again? It was some sort of, I remember the spirit said something from the bedroom, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh, man.
It was some sort of like incantation almost.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
It was embrace me, embrace something, and
yeah.
That was creepy. Why be creepy if you're gonna be helpful?
Yeah.
Don't be creepy. Just
right.
Just be like, I'm helping.
Oh man. Now number 3. Why did I think there was a rainstorm going on, and why did I think that audio slave was playing? Denny explained that some ancient spirits or malevolent beings have the essence of coercion, to where they could use your senses against you to try to get what they want or torment you. Sometimes it was a bit of fun. Other times it was to gain access to your physical being or to trap you near them so they have more time to torment you. In my case, the rainstorm was to keep me in the house so that I would be near the ring spirit so I could give it this hug. I confirmed there was no rainstorm that day via neighbors and weather websites online. She believed that it chose music I loved to try to communicate its intentions to me, thus me hearing Audioslave out of exile. I love that song, and I love Chris Cornell. It might have been trying to tell me that it was going to hug me and that I could gain from it, but I am not sure about this, since I swear I saw the album and read the song titles before putting it on the record player. I literally skipped to that song because I wanted to hear it while I was going to take a shower, but it could have been an illusion to get me to skip to a specific part to Conjure album. I will never know. Now, what she's saying there, because if you didn't watch the last episode, whenever she did pull this record off of the record player, it was an album that said something along the lines of Conjuring. So she was actually listening to a completely different album than she thought. So I know that we have a lot of repeat viewers and people who watch this every week. So you guys are on par. If you guys need to, what is it, one episode back?
I think it's episode 8.
Episode 8. Yeah. Could check that out because it's going to make a lot of this make sense. But this, if you have watched that, is fascinating. Fascinating. What a frame of thinking.
You know,
to
it's
get
episode 9, sorry.
Episode 9. You know, getting her to stay inside the house by making the appearance of a violent thunderstorm. This is a powerful entity, you know, especially because it has not come in and drawn any sort of energy off of her or anything. Like, it's pretty much like, hi, how are you? Need a hug? You're not listening to Autoslave, but you think you are. There's not a storm outside, you know? Like, yeah, how wild. Number 4. You knew about the spirit's existence and the possible harm it could cause to someone. Why was it out on the table at the yard sale? Just answering everything, just not in the same order I'm thinking it, apparently. Yeah, this is nice. This really does the same questions that you have asked the Bokers are the same questions that I would have. So that's pretty neat. We're connected. Maybe we're connected through something. Maybe I'm next for the embrace.
There is a package on the way.
Oh man. Oh man, I'm kind of worried about we're gonna start getting haunted shit. By the way, guys, we did have a really strange experience the other day. See these giant machines behind us right here? That's called a oxalate extractor. That's what we use to extract different compounds from plants and fungi. It is a very delicate tool. Cody and I have broken several just using them, you know, whether it be from knocking into them or pressure builds. So they're very delicate. We came in here one day, and after months of having this set behind us set up from doing both Voice of the Broken and this podcast, we had our first, complete dishevelment of the set behind us. It was rather strange, especially because the oxalate extractor was found perfectly intact and on the floor, which doesn't make any sense.
Also, the doors
whatsoever.
were locked.
Yeah, and the doors were locked in here. So we are just wondering what it is that all of this spooky talk is doing. And, you know, the 1970s board on top of the refrigerator, I don't think helps, but Cody has a hard time letting go of things. Anyway, 4. You knew about the spirit's existence and the possible harm it could cause to someone, so why was it out at the table at the yard sale? They assured me that the entity was not malevolent in nature and was more of a trickster than one that presented malice. I don't like where this is going so far. There have only been 3 recorded encounters reported to them. No one was harmed physically, and they always retrieved the ring or it found its way back to them. Being of unknown origin, they can only assume that it is a very old being with great power, but they do not really know how to contain it, and they are rather helpless to stop its flights from containment. They do their best, but they feel as if they put a warding or binding on it, it will only anger it, and then it might start doing evil things and causing them actual harm. Yeah, but I mean, like, don't contain it, but don't put it on a table.
I don't know if it was on the table. It just...
Well, that's what that just said. That's what was in the statement. Why was it on the table at the yard sale? Like, you don't have to contain it, but what's the likelihood that a scuba diver will come across that thing if you throw it in the Mariana Trench? You know, like I think it'll be all right. Okay, on to 5. What was the significance to The Conjure, the Welcoming album, and how does it relate to the ring spirit? Did you mean to sell that to me? Good question. Supposedly, the album was recorded by a descendant of the man that once famous Mary Laveau, occultist, herbal. Oh, she's talking. She's talking about some pretty well-known lady, Mary Laveau, or Marie Laveau, I believe. Yeah, whenever I went to Nolans, I heard whispers of her. If I'm thinking of the same person, there's like a manor or maybe a bar
Hmm.
that was her something or other. I do believe that I went there. If this is the same person, so saying that the the album was recorded by a descendant of a man that the once famous Marie Laveau, occultist, herbalist, and voodoo priestess, had visited in jail while awaiting his execution. Ooh, okay. It was known that she frequented the prisoners to offer words and prayer and solace to the condemned. This man allegedly escaped and, after some years, fathered several children, 2 of which became heavily involved in voodoo. The spell on the record is to strengthen the conductivity of a spirit's essence in this plane, making it easier for a priest or priestess or to call forth a certain spirit or demon. That that combination, like how could you be looking at that if you okay, maybe after all this you're going to be like, "Wow, they're super powerful. I don't want to mess with them." Absolutely not. That's a horrible idea. But how do you not want to jack this lady? How do you not want to just smack her like, lady, what the heck? Like, oh, there's the ring. It's leaving. Oh, and there's that album that strengthens the thing we can't figure out, on the inside.
I feel like it's okay. It's not hurt anybody yet,
Yet.
but like,
I mean, they have what, 3 frames of reference?
well, that too. What if it's been going around like doing stuff you don't even know?
right?
If it just like, oh, it leaves and then finds its way back.
And they're like, oh, it's a trickster. It's like,
It's just like,
why not try to keep that away from everyone?
yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Denny thought that the entity tricked me into using the record to make it easier to materialize outside the ring. Trickery at its finest. Somehow, the ring and the record were passed down via generations of Leroy's and Denny's families, the 2 finally converging together after they got married. Was this the design of the entity? No one knows, as no one knows its true age. Yeah! You don't know anything about it!
So
Like,
it was passed down through each families separately, and then came together as like a lock and key to.
That's how it feels. That's how it sounds.
That's what I'm getting.
And
Man!
Marie Laveau, man, anything to do with her's got like a little strange history around it. I just can't help it. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not familiar with her. I know Remy LeBeau.
Remy,
Yeah.
like you want to explain?
Gambit.
Oh, oh, yeah. I never learned his. I only knew Gambit's alias.
Mm.
I know he's from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did not mean for it to be mixed amongst the albums in the yard sale, and in all instances of the entity engaging the people, mine was the only occurrence where the album was used, which might explain why I got such a good look at its materialized form. All the other times it showed itself, the album was not involved. It seems it was a fluke that the album was mistakenly mixed in with the records, and I was the lucky one to pick it up and take it home. Sneaky, sneaky spirit. I sincerely do think that Denny and Leroy intentionally set the record out, but it was the spirit's doing. Yeah, they seem to be in like a thick as thieves situation.
Well, okay, so you think they're trying to just help people then? Is that their intention
In like a weird,
in a weird
macabre way. I
And
just don't like
setting these things out here and like
I don't really
letting it attach, like letting it find people that need the help.
They are openly saying we don't know much about it. We don't know much about
Yeah, but they
it.
seem to be like dead set on it being like
A positive thing.
a positive thing. Yeah, and they're like just so they just leave it out. Do they do this
Often.
often? They yard sales all the time. Or?
Number 6. Were they tracking me from the yard sale? No. When they realized the ring had escaped. Again, they checked for the record and found that it was also gone and kind of put 2 and 2 together. I was the only. Wait. See, right there. Detective skills. When they saw the record was gone, they checked to see if the ring was gone. I thought the record and the ring had nothing to do with one another. I thought it was a fluke. And aren't Leroy and Denny maybe sitting there checking the stuff out? You know? Like, so when the record goes, it shouldn't trigger the ring. Because the ring and the record have had nothing to do with one another.
I thought they said the ring and the record did have things to do with each other.
Well, possibly, but there's no history, there's no past. So what did they figure it out like right then and there, or like because they just stated? Do you get what I'm saying, chat? Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm wondering if maybe the questions and the answers are 1 through whatever we're on right now, 1 through 7, and maybe they're out of order a little bit or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I know the questions we were asking kind of got answered separately.
Yeah.
So maybe
or maybe she's answering in the chronological order that we stated them in the previous show. Yeah, I don't know. Did that?
What happened?
Got my eye on you.
What is it? The guy, is he moving? What's moving?
No.
Is something moving?
No, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Okay. I was the only one that bought a good amount of the records and was the only one that attended the yard sale with a dog. They asked around and found out my phone number and where I lived, giving the excuse that they wanted to return something I had dropped at the sale. They called, but I did not answer. They waited until the yard sale was concluded and showed up at my house around 4 or 5 hours later. Crazily, they showed up just as I was waking up from my hugging. Additionally, they never entered the house. After the incident, I had my place spiritually cleansed by another boker, not affiliated with them, and they never got any money from me, other than what I spent on the records at the yard sale and the coffee at the coffee shop. Oh, did you buy them coffee?
That was their plan all along.
They did this is all an elaborate con for a cup of coffee. Well, Leroy, the next question is Leroy a golem or a zombie? Well, zombie Leroy loves his, they got to give him decaf. Otherwise
I feel like he needs something a little stronger. He's lumbering around.
No, you give that zombie caffeine,
I feel like he needs.
Yeah, he probably runs off something completely different than caffeine. I'm just going to say, chicken bones or.
You're going to get weird shit in the mail.
I hope not. This is just giving me some vibes. Give me some vibes. And good on hiring the other, the other spiritualists, the other boker to come in. These guys just have strange vibes written all over them. Not to cast shade on, anybody who practices, like voodoo or whatever your practice is, like I'm never going to cast shade on something I don't understand. I love different cultures and I love seeing how things, are done and, giving insight, as long as it's constructive, as long as it's, not intentionally trying to harm someone, whether it, not be physical, but, in a spiritual manner. That's almost worse. Your spirit is eternal. Your body, not so much, But good on going to another boker, because I think they were a bit bonkers. And
I wonder if she told the other boker everything that had happened and what they had said about what they thought.
Oh, I want to skip ahead.
Yeah, I know. Now it's like,
But I
need to know
won't.
answers. Now we need another follow up.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's just perpetually.
We got
goes
2
on.
more questions. What coffee did they get, and
Yeah.
what did? They...
Yeah, Carrie, if you were down in the, if you were down in the live chat, what kind of coffee did Leroy have? We need to know for our records. What kind of coffee did Leroy have? Yeah. And did he ever speak? Or did he just like let out like long-winded moans and groans? You know. All right, number 7. And this is a question I had, I think, as well as Cody had. And it is Leroy a golem or a zombie? So, a zombie, I think everybody knows. A golem is more so like a what? An inanimate possession. Like you imbue the soul of something into an inanimate object. So
I think that's a
maybe
Jewish thing.
well, I know it's in alchemy, I
Mm.
believe. At least Full Metal Alchemist says so. But yeah, maybe a zombie is like a soulless person. A golem
Yeah, I
is
think a golem is like a protector
yeah. Or
deal,
I
but you can like.
I just think it's more basic than that. I think you can make a golem to do like whatever you want, like kind of like a Tesla bot. You know, like if anybody wants to volunteer
wants
to
to
be,
gift us a Tesla bot.
yeah, I mean, if we'll take a Tesla bot or we'll take a humanely procured golem. As long as it's going to like keep things organized, maybe help us keep up with socials. If anyone out there has that, that would be without turning me and Cody into one. I know all the mad bokers are out there like, oh yeah, we'll give you one.
Get you.
We'll give you one. Yeah, no, bad. Okay, well it says, is Leroy a golem or a zombie? LOL. Sorry, Deadeye Two Tongues, he is not. But until I asked why he did not talk, I was thinking the same thing. Like he was her sworn bodyguard or protector. He did not speak because he is mute. Oh,
Whoops.
that, that makes sense.
That'd do it.
That makes sense. Yeah. There was some bacterial infection he had when he was young, and and they had to remove his larynx. Oof. So, sorry, Leroy. No wonder why you didn't speak up, big guy. That's like that was like remember the story that we had, I think it was like the second episode where the two people were like describing like this female that was just walking and they were like talking about girls or cars or something. And they're like, it was like the weirdest thing when we actually looked at her when she got close. She had like no face. and we're like the first thing we say is like maybe she had like a skin condition or like some horrible
Accident.
accident. We're not thinking or it's not paranormal at all, Or in the words of grumpy old men, she pulled her lip over her head and swallowed. She no longer had a head. Yeah. So, whoops. Sorry, Leroy. Sorry about the larynx, bud. Yeah. Not a golem. So, maybe the chances of us getting a golem are lower, but a Tesla bot. Think about all the stuff we'd be able to get done. So, yeah, I mean, there's that. But I did just see something about Elon Musk and Grok and the carbon emissions that's coming out from that thing. That's what's crazy. To run an AI engine, these machines are like pumping out insane energy. And, of course, like byproduct from it, which is wild. Wild. So, I don't know. I'm conflicted. I am conflicted on anything that is in the political sphere.
I'm just conflicted on everything.
Yeah, right? Like, what can you trust anymore? Especially in people in positions of power. Man, I feel like a peasant. I feel like a daisy that was growing, and then someone came and put a box over me, like
Yeah.
deprived me of sunlight, and it's on purpose. It's malicious.
Yeah, we're gonna own nothing and like it.
Not everyone can be a robot polisher, right? Klaus Schwab. Man, we are burning our ability to have ad revenue.
Yeah, we're burning
We're just like,
some bridges, but I mean, there should
fuck
be other
it.
ones that are.
Yeah, well, you know what? There shouldn't be morals that are willing to be burned.
Now,
I will speak.
Yeah, I'm
I'll speak
steadfast
my
on.
mind. Yeah. All right. So this is the last answering of questions that were poised by viewers and Cody and I. So question 8 is: do I think that Denny and Leroy meant me any harm, or do I feel violated? I do not think they meant me any harm, and did not entice the actions of the spirit in any way. After speaking with them and seeing the documents on the ring, I really do not believe that they were involved other than coming to get the ring and the record after they figured the spirit had latched to me. If anything, I think they were the victims because of the nature of the spirit and its habit of getting away and causing its mischief. If I can even call it mischief. At the time, I felt a little violated because I did not know what the spirit had done to me, or if I was cursed, or something. But after the explanation and the good things that started to happen after, see, there we go. We were waiting for that.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, right?
Start off with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm still questioning everything up to this point, and I'm like, I don't know. I just don't believe it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. And then it's like, good things started to happen. Oh shit! Awesome.
Yeah, like at the end of this, because I'm, Carrie is one of the people that said that she was sending us a package. At the end of this, it's like, I hope you enjoy your Tesla bot. She's like, had so much good fortune. I sent you 5 of them. It's like, what? I no longer blame Denny, Leroy, or the entity. The entity, in my opinion, was the only one to be on some benevolent fuckery. That's crazy. So they became the gatekeeper. Probably felt as if, this ring had not stirred up enough negative emotion or negative outcome to allow it to keep doing its thing.
Well, it keeps coming back to him. I mean, it's in their family for so long. Is it part yeah,
Maybe, they are.
a distant relation to them, and then it's just gonna like.
It's like they have it on a leash and it like runs off and does its thing, and they come up and get it when it's done doing it.
But it said earlier that it had come back without them doing that, like by itself.
Oh yeah.
Found its way.
They're
back.
on a leash.
Something.
They're on the hook for it in its behavior. All in all, it was very enlightening conversation, and I had to admit, it opened my eyes a little, that not all the things that go bump in the night, or day, in my case, are out to get you. Since the hug, I got a promotion at my job. I no longer had night terrors that normally would wake up Kiku, and I felt lighter. Spiritually, I learned a lot from Denny and Leroy and learned to understand more about voodoo and its positive practice. I even asked to see the ring again and even offered my thanks for choosing me. No materialization this time. A few years later, I moved again, but I never forgot my experience in Louisiana and was thankful a good spirit found me and not one that wanted to do me harm. Sometimes, I still smell ash and incense briefly, which makes me think the spirit left something behind to bless me. I am still in touch with Denny and Leroy on occasion, and there have been no more instances of the ring and record getting out. So I hope this helped with any confusion or bad vibes you might have gotten surrounding Denny and Leroy and my whole experience. Sometimes, on the surface, things are not what they seem, and it takes a little bit of patience and time to find out the truth. I'm so glad I did, and I was able to share my experience on the platform. Thanks for listening. Stay safe.
You start with number 8 next time. Let us know right out the gate, because we're still questioning like what do they do, what are they up to, and then we get to 8 and it's like everything was cool. And this all
actually
good
got a
stuff happened.
promotion. Everything's cool.
I just feel like, well, sorry,
Yeah.
I would.
Yep. Met the man of my dreams. I'm filthy rich. I found this treasure chest in my front yard. It's like, what?
Isn't these two podcasters a Tesla bot?
Yeah, right.
Whoa,
5 Tesla bots
freaking
going to my
cool.
2 favorite podcasters. Man, everyone benefits. Everyone. Oh man. Well, that was a first. We had a follow up here on the channel. That's pretty neat. Yeah, so what do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. What do you think about that? Did that clear things up for you when it comes to the previous story told, the embrace part 1? I think it did leave a little bit of a sour taste in everyone's mouth. Like, because it just seemed so malicious. It just seemed so, like, 100% intentional, you know?
I mean, yeah, with what we got to go on and the reaction we had to make, and it's
Yeah. Yeah.
just like, what
But
do I think? I think, yeah. So
she still stays in touch, though. So, not under duress in any way. Carrie, extend, our love out to
Denny and Leroy.
Denny. Yeah. Good things. Say good things.
Yeah, yeah.
And only good things, you know?
I take back my negativity
I
from the
never
other
said
episode.
nothing bad. We're already cursed, right? Yeah. It don't matter. Yeah. The ring shows up in our mailbox. Yikes. All right. Hug me. Just, yeah. Well, I am glad that actually cleared a lot of stuff up. And that is the rare instance of a positive kind of a twist in a story. A lot of these end in turmoil. A lot of these end in abandonment of places or people.
It's spooky as shit, and then
Yeah. That this one ended in good fortune.
yeah.
That is pretty great. I gotta say that that is much to my liking. Absolutely. So that was a phenomenal telling of some events that had happened after the previous story, the embrace, and yeah. Let us know what you think down in the comment section and down in the live chat. And Cody,
Yes.
who's going to be our sponsor for the day?
I got nothing.
You're such a piece of shit.
How about a big old bee?
A big. Wait, like the letter B or like a B?
Like a bumblebee. But a big one.
But we got to add a horror element to it, don't we?
It's a big old horror, giant human-sized bumblebee is going to be pretty horrible.
I don't know. I think that they would still be like driven on just getting pollen and pollinating
Yeah,
plants.
pollen from your fucking neck.
Why? That doesn't make them bloodthirsty.
Thing and just
Oh my god.
ugh.
A zombie.
There you go, zombie bee.
Hey. There. That worked. We figured it out through banter.
See? Just
It did feel more natural that way. All right. So take it away, zombie. Wait a minute. We might actually have ads by this time. What if they would decide to put the
putting ads on top of the ads.
cuts our ad off halfway, puts theirs. Like, and we were also talking how funny it would be if, like, they like were putting, a Prozac commercial or something. Some like big pharma steps in and is like,
Rushing us.
Yeah. Anyway, take it away, zombie.
It's a hellfireholler.com.
Well, how about that for a sponsor?
Terrifying.
I tell you, guys, hellfireholler.com. You can go pick up all your herbal supplement needs. Cody, how you feeling? How'd that first reading?
Feeling loose as a goose.
Yeah.
Who's riding a moose.
Yeah. Give it 5 more words that rhyme.
Caboose.
Yeah, make them make sense. Can't just say caboose.
Oh, well, you just said. Well, they got hit. They're on a caboose.
Well, then say on a caboose. Don't just say caboose.
Well, you said just give 5 more words, and then I thought you just wanted the words themselves.
Oh my god. Everyone knows how this works. It's a goose.
Now you've
that's
derailed my
loose
whole
riding a caboose.
train of thought.
Oh, guys. Oh, how you feeling? How's chat feeling? How we feeling, chat? Huh? How is everybody down there doing?
Oh, look, Timmy.
Fucking Timmy. Enrages me.
At some point, we just need like an army of Timmys to be in the comments and
That's what we'll name our Tesla bots.
just Timmys.
Timmy 1,
Timmy
2,
1, Timmy 2.
Timmy 3. My roommates in college were both named Timmy. As a matter of fact, I love the Tims. Like they're amazing. They were such a profound part of my life that's who I named my son after. Rowan Timothy.
Well, there you go.
That is his middle name. Well, Timothy Alexander. Yeah. Good stuff, right? Long names are big in our family. Yeah. Moving on. Guys, this is a good segue, a good time for us to tell you that you can go and support us if you like our content by first doing the most simple of things. You can go down and you can dig up the grave of that like button, and you can also go down to the subscribe button and you can sage that for us. That would be absolutely amazing. Helps.
Turn on the notifications.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
you
one.
never miss a thing.
Guys, turn on notifications. Absolutely. So, let's see. Coming at you with the next story titled The Thing in the Glades by Eric. The Thing in the Glades. Me and Cody, not long ago, we got back from the Everglades.
We were the thing in the Glades.
Yes, we were. At the time, we were the scariest thing in the Everglades. Yes, we were. We had a great time down there.
It was a hoot.
Yeah. Yeah, the mangrove, like, thickets and stuff were absolutely amazing. Like,
Oh, yeah, it's nice being in a completely different environment, but somehow still felt at home.
yeah. Yeah, it's that East Coast. You know, things are pseudo similar. But the thing in the Glades. What do you think it is, Cody?
They're a ornery gator or skunk ape.
It does say thing and not thang. I would be terrified if it said thang. Yeah. Yep. Or the thong in the Glades.
The thong in the Glades.
You know.
We're getting.
What was that artist's name? Cisco? That thong, 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 thong. I like the way the beat go. Baby, make your booty go. Yeah, that guy. Miss him. He created some quality music. He was also in the Wild Wild West song. I think those are the only 2 songs he ever did.
That's neat.
Wiki Wild, Wild West, Jim West, Desperado, you know. Some you don't want none of this, 6 gun in this, brother running this, buffalo soldier. Look, it's like I told you. Now any damsel that's in distress, be out of that dress when she meets Jim West. You know, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a great song as a kid.
It's good.
Obviously. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, let's get into the story. The Thing in the Glades, sent in to us by Eric, submitted for the approval of the Near Death Diary podcast. Wow.
We just need to mandate that.
That gets me. That really
start
does.
putting that. Everybody who writes in, just drop that on there.
Submitted for the approval of the Near Death Diary. Man, that's like butter. That's like butter. That's like margarine. You know, that's like a little bit of tallow.
Tickles my nostalgia pits.
Yeah. Tickle pits. Into the story. My name is Eric. my wife Lacey and I had been planning a little escape for months. We'd both been working way too hard. Life was starting to feel like one long checklist, and we needed to get away. Somewhere remote, somewhere wild. So we packed up our RV, stocked the fridge, filled the tanks, and headed south, deep into the Florida Everglades.
That sounds awfully familiar.
Yeah, that's where we're about to go. We're about to be in East Florida. We weren't staying at any manicured RV park either. We'd found the tucked away patch off a levee road just past the Big Cypress. It had an old fire pit, some rutted tire tracks from past campers, but not much else. No lights, no neighbors, just us. Miles of sawgrass, and the murky black water snaking around the roots of the cypress trees. The first night, I remember thinking how beautiful it all was. Warm, but damp air, crickets chirping like static, a sky smeared with stars. There was kind of a peace in the stillness, until it wasn't still anymore. Rut-row. So, I mean, usually in stories, nature goes quiet and still. Seems like, what if nature's just throwing a party right now? Just going wild. Everything's just moaning and groaning, you know?
Wow.
Ooh. Let's dive a bit deeper. Around 2 a.m, I woke up to a thud, just a single heavy thump, the kind that rattled the cabinet doors a little. Lacey stirred next to me. I said, "Do you hear that?" She mumbled something and rolled over, half asleep. But I sat up, trying to listen past the buzz of the AC and the whirl of the fan. Silence. I figured maybe something had fallen, a branch, or maybe a raccoon had knocked something over the outside. I peeked through the blind, but all I saw was darkness and the shimmer of moonlight off standing water. I like how everybody who has been sending in feels like y'all been taking your time. And it's nice. It really is. It's nice. Because this is you guys, okay? The next morning, I went out to check. The RV looked fine. No signs of damage, but there were tracks. Well, sort of. Not footprints exactly. More like heavy impressions in the dirt near the back of the rig. Big and wide, and spaced like something had walked on 2 legs. At first, I thought maybe someone had wandered through the camp, a hunter or a hiker. But out here, and that far off the trail, something walking on 2 legs. You know, the most dangerous thing is still, after reading all these stories, are other humans. Just gonna say. Just gonna say. I mean,
Well, I guess a human that's possessed is, yeah.
Well, we have yet to have any stories where someone was, ripped limb from limb by a, it's all been scary.
They don't
stuff.
write in.
Yeah, I guess.
How are they
going
going to type when they got no limbs?
If you try hard enough, anything's possible. Still, I didn't want to spook Lacey, so I just brushed it off. I said it must have been a boar or something. No way. No way. You're rationalizing. You are 100% rationalizing. You said it looked like it walked on 2. You'd be able to tell a boar.
Be a black bear.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. But then also, you don't want to cut your trip short.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless your entirety on Earth is going to be cut short, But I think that's just rationalization, And he is kind of saying that. He's like, I told myself it must have been and that sounds like a precursor, I told myself it must have been a boar. You knew it wasn't a boar. You were rationalizing that shit so you could stick out there and so you didn't spook your lady. She looked unconvinced, but didn't press it. We spent the day kayaking through the mangroves, spotting gators and herons, even a few turtles sunning themselves on logs. For a while, it felt like a vacation again. That night, though, everything changed. Around 1:30 in the morning, we heard it again. A thud, louder this time. Then, something scraped along the side of the RV. Not metal on metal, more like nails on fiberglass. Lacey sat bolt upright in bed. "What the hell was that?" she whispered, eyes wide. I grabbed the flashlight and eased towards the door. As soon as I opened it, the sound stopped, just like before. Total silence. I scanned the beam across the clearing. That's when I smelled it. What's Florida known for? What do they call it?
Gator Alley.
Jesus, Cody. You have like multiple t-shirts of this.
Are you talking about what I think you're talking about?
No, Cody. I couldn't be.
Skunk ape?
Whisper it endearingly.
The skunk ape?
Yes, Cody. That's when I smelled it. It hit me like a punch in the face. It smelled like a wet sock stuffed with rotting meat, like something that had died days ago and then took a mud bath. The air was thick with it, and the hair on my arms stood up. My gut twisted. Every instinct in me said something had just been here. I didn't sleep that night. What do you think? You think it's the skunk boy?
I mean, that's an area that I would go looking for a skunk ape.
Would you actually go looking for a skunk ape?
Yes.
Does the skunk ape have a body count?
I don't know. I've never heard of it. It's basically just a smelly Bigfoot.
It's a stinky
Sasquatch.
I wonder what gives him the description of being like, why is it other Bigfoots? Why is it, maybe he's like the outcast brother of all the Bigfoots.
He's living in a swamp.
Swamps swamps aren't all like what, like mud doesn't necessarily
Yeah, you
always
get caked
stink.
in mud. You're thinking like getting caked in it, and then you got bugs and whatever else, and it's all hot and humid down there. You're covered in fur. You're gonna smell.
I'm just thinking that maybe he was banished to Florida by all the other.
And maybe it has something to do with like scaring off other predators, because
It stinks so bad.
they got panthers down there, and
You know how dogs like to roll in carcasses?
yeah,
You know, wouldn't it just attract predators?
I don't know.
Smells like
Well,
rotting
maybe it's
meat.
doing that. Maybe it's after him.
Oh, he's just
Who knows?
like drawing everything towards him.
There's that
for a free meal.
skunk ape museum or the skunk ape headquarters that we
Yeah,
stopped at.
yeah, it was incredible.
It was pretty neat. I don't think it was. We went in like March, probably not prime worst season.
Yeah, but it was Florida, you know, so
Yeah.
it was still really hot, still warm. Yeah, it was a good time. I had a great time. We didn't get to take out any invasive iguanas, and do like 20.
Didn't see one iguana.
Yeah, bought that air rifle and everything. Shame, what a shame. The next day, we debated packing up. Lacey wanted to go, said she had a bad feeling. But I said, hey, look, we've already paid for the week. Though really, I just didn't believe it was more than normal wildlife. Whatever it was, I told myself it was probably just a bear. They wander through sometimes. Maybe even a panther. They can smell food from a mile off. But that night, that third night, there it is, the third night.
I feel like we get a lot of these stories, and I mean even personal experiences and stuff where we're just like, it's kind of like a little thing happens, but we're like, I'm not going to let it ruin my time.
Yeah.
And then it happens again, and like, well,
Like the Morel folks,
not eating, yeah,
From-
yeah.
from
I'm not leaving
Canada?
yet, but
literally had like brands of abduction brands on
Yeah.
them. And they're like, we're still getting morels. My kind of people, for sure. But yeah. I mean, dude, the power of $1. I've already paid for this camping spot. You're not going to drive me off. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, you always stay strapped. Back to the story. We had just finished eating and relaxing around the fire pit, and were about to turn in. We were gathering everything for the night, and that's when we heard it. Not a thud, not a scrape. This was a scream. Long, drawn out and guttural, like a man and an animal crying out at the same time. It came from the trees across the clearing. I froze mid-step when I heard it. Lacey grabbed my arm so hard her nails dug in. We quickly ran into the RV and shut the door. "What the hell is that?" she whispered, eyes locked on the window. Man, they're seeing it. What do you think? What do you think it's
A
gonna?
man being mauled by a panther.
Oh, yeah.
And they both.
It is, in fact, like a creature and a man
That'd be
crying
the
out at the
worst.
same time. This story is not paranormal at all. It's just like this awful fucking
Awful
thing
time.
that happened. Like, ah, shit. Yeah,
Everything's pointing me to a Sasquatch skunk ape.
that's what I'm thinking too. But, well, wait a minute, though. There was the scratching, the nails on the side of their RV. You know?
What was it? Just a sound though? Did they? I can't remember. Did he say they?
Well,
saw any scratching?
It was, from what he described, it was almost like
Nails on
nails
fiberglass, but
on fiberglass.
was there
right.
any marks? I didn't think it said there were.
No, if there were marks, they would have been out.
Yeah, I think that's
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that I think he said like they didn't really see anything the next morning, and they just assumed it was a panther or bear. Now, they're hearing for the first time something outside of just like the physical interaction on their domicile. You know, it screamed again, closer this time, and then we heard movement, heavy footsteps sloshing through the brush, coming from the water's edge. The RV creaked under us, like the whole thing was holding its breath. I killed all the lights. We all sat in the dark, peeking out the narrow slats of the blinds. The moonlight was just bright enough to make out the clearing, and then we saw it. It stepped out from behind the palmetto, half shadowed. It was very tall, maybe 7 feet, covered in matted hair and glistened with swamp water. Its arms were long, and its gait was awkward, like each leg didn't bend quite right. I sniffed the air, slow and deliberate, head twitching like a dog catching a scent. Then it turned, and it looked at us. Guys, chat, what do you think? Let us know, live chat. What do you think it is? Let us know in the comments section. Timestamp it. I want to see your timestamps. I want to know that you guessed. I want to know that you didn't listen to the whole story and then make a guess like a cheater. Like a cheater. Out there cheating. I don't mean it glanced. I mean it locked eyes with our window, tilted its head, and took a step forward. Lacey whispered, "Go, go, go, go." And I didn't even argue. I turned the ignition and prayed the engine would start on the first try. And it did. Thank God. As we backed out, the thing shrieked again. This horrible, angry wail. I hit the gas, and I didn't look back, the RV bumping over the roots and the potholes until we hit a paved road. I drove for hours until we found a lit gas station and parked under the lights. We slept there. We didn't talk much about it for the rest of the days after. We told friends we had cut the trip short because of the mosquitoes or the heat. But in the back of our mind, I kept going over all these details. That smell, the size, the intelligence in those eyes. Later, I did some research. The stories match. Locals have called it the skunk ape for decades. They say it's been there in the Everglades since before the modern man. Some say it's a relation to Bigfoot. Others say it's something older. Something that's always lived in the swamps, hiding just at the edge of the firelight. All I know is we weren't alone out there. Something walked through that camp night after night. Something that watched us. And if you ever find yourself deep in the glades, parked where the road ends and the wild begins, keep your windows closed and lock your doors.
You think was its intentions? I mean, I researched it a little bit, but I don't know if there's any like accounts of it attacking people or stuff like that.
I don't know. I've seen, and I don't know where these stories took place, but I've seen one story where an RV was like ripped to shreds. And a grain of salt. I haven't done much looking into it, but it's been popping up, by proxy, all of the spooky, elements of, like YouTube have been coming up, in my feed lately. And there's one I've been meaning to watch from another creator on here. Don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was essentially, there is a documented case, I guess, where there has been a RV kind of dashed and ripped to bits, and the people inside were taken along with it, from what I understand. Now, we would hear an awful lot about that if that was common, right? And that would probably stifle a lot of people from ever packing up their RV in the first place.
Yeah.
But the sore thumb scenarios that stick out, that is one, and I will find that story and touch back on it on another episode, and I'll watch through it. But it is something that's been sticking out on my feed lately. But yeah, I don't know. What's with the scratching and the almost intimidating factor?
Yeah, I wonder if it's just trying to get you to leave, if you're like in its territory, or
Could be.
because I mean, it's basically, I think it's basically a Bigfoot, but
Yeah.
slightly different.
A lot of
So
people, though,
I think it would be like the same characteristics, and you use Bigfoot sightings and stuff like that. You just kind of see them, and they either make noises and try to get you to.
but people who believe deeply in the Bigfoot lore, oftentimes, ourself included, from what we've experienced, like being in the woods, it's got to be super intelligent.
Yeah, that. But I mean, it's just driving you off pretty much.
Yeah.
Usually.
But yeah, there's also not a lot of talk of Bigfoot stinking. Like, this is a distinctly different, telling.
I've heard of that though, and I've smelled shit like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. It just came out of nowhere and just stank, and
Yeah.
that was right out back actually.
What do you guys think the distinction is between a Bigfoot and a skunk ape? Do you think there is any? Do you think that these are two separate entities? Do you think they are related? But to go back on the subject that we were talking about, primates are well known to be territorial. You should see the shit chimpanzees do.
Literally.
Yeah. Like,
It's another thing. Like, yeah, it's
Flinging.
a primate flinging shit. Like,
Yeah.
could that be the smell? I mean, maybe that's the whole thing. It's doing that to get you to trying to get you to leave.
yeah, could be.
If you're smelling that, maybe that's like a get out of Dodge kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't stink like that all the time.
I just don't see how that wouldn't bring other, because canines and buzzards and, scavengers and stuff would be following this thing around all the
but
time.
I
Like
don't know,
turkey
like,
buzzards are
animals know the scent of different animals and stuff. Like if you have a dog and you have a bear nearby, the dog will just his hair will stand up and he'll know what it is before you even see it,
yeah.
just from the smell. So maybe if they're
Well, he's smelling all the
if it's been
the
around for
previous actions that are on the bear.
yeah, and it,
That dog can smell
yeah.
all of the meat and like shit that it's had within, months, years. Dogs are incredibly capable of detecting scents.
And if this thing's been in the Everglades since hundreds and hundreds of years.
Now, do you think
Maybe
that,
all the wildlife there is already accustomed to it and knows what
Could
it
be.
is.
but also, do you think that this is the same entity, or do you think that they are giving birth to new versions of skunk apes
Well, I think it's just like a different region of like you'd have, different primates. You can have a northern thing that's kind of evolved its own
yeah, for
way,
sure.
and then there's a
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would just be, privy to think that with all the amount of sightings of this thing all over like Florida and the Everglades, because is it the Everglades skunk man or is it the Florida skunk man? Isn't his sighting stretch beyond the Everglades as well? Doesn't Florida's version of Bigfoot just stink?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. If you guys know in the chat, let us know. If you know in the comment sections, let us know. But Eric, buddy, if you're in here and you've had time to process what it was you went through, I'm sure you have with any sort of, terrifying experience, your brain tends to go back to it, whether willingly or not. Dreams. Have you acquired any other thoughts on that? We would like to know that. And if you are here my friend, my brother. I hope you are in that live chat down there, mingling with the rest of the returning storytellers, like Bob and Zach and Carrie, and several other people who have told some astounding stories here on the podcast. We hope that you are finding your way snug as a bug next to the internet campfire as well. With that being said, guys, it's time for another brief intermission from the sponsor. Cody, who's it going to be? How about a goofy? Good girl. Guys, if you're liking the story so far, then what you could do to help us is you can go down to that subscribe button. You can hit that. You can also hit the like button, turn on notifications. That goes a long way. You can also leave a comment in the comment section. Sometimes the people who are in our stories or who authored the stories are there to answer questions or just chat. And also you can just join the blossoming and amazing community that more than likely is down there right now in the live chat. Cody, you see him down there?
Hey, what are you guys doing down there?
What are you doing down there, guys? Look at you. Oh my gosh. Cody, look at that one.
What a silly goose.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, there's probably quite a few of you down there. It gets more and more every episode. And now's a good time to tell you all that we love you. Thank you for everything that you do for us here at the Near Death Diary podcast. We really appreciate you. You guys genuinely are making me and Cody's dream come true.
It's making our dreams come true. Woo.
So we're going to get into our next story. And we are going to jump right into this Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
There it is. Yeah. We are also trying to get a better mic for Cody. Well, no, we have the mic, don't we? Didn't we get two of these?
We got two headphones,
That's it.
not two
That's
mics.
it. We need another one of these guys right here. We need another stand, and we also need another camera so we can get Cody. So you guys don't have to stare at my ugly mug this entire time. My troll golem looking went through a meat grinder ass. Ugh. Tell me I'm wrong, chat. Tell me I'm beautiful,
Be
chat.
gentle.
But yeah, we're trying to save up for that. We think that getting Cody and his reactions and everything would be great as well. But I digress. Guys, Oktoberfest. Cody, would you be arguably more scared if this was Oktoberfest?
I would have some questions on where the hell this story is going. I feel like you'd like it, though.
I mean,
Like,
imagine
Succubus coming to fist me, woo, yay.
imagine if it was Oktoberfesting.
Uber fisting.
That sounds like a name we would put on one of our hot sauce bottles. Yeah, that along with birds are a CIA listening device, and Epstein didn't kill himself. That's another flavor. You know, we're trying to spread awareness. We are trying to spread awareness. Why have a platform if you're not going to help the truth get out, right? I encourage all other content creators to do the same. But this is Oktoberfest, Fest. It does not say, a true account by Hannah, a.k.a. The Obedient Mix. I see you a lot in the comment section and on all their socials. Thank you so much for your interest and for your presence here within our building community. Thank you, Hannah. Let's dive into your story. Oktoberfest. I had always been on the fence about the true existence of blank.
I had to edit it a little bit.
What is with this?
Well, the last episode we did Japanese succubus, and I feel like the title, and just from the get-go, it was kind of like you knew it was coming. So
Well,
this one, I wanted to edit it a little bit, so you wouldn't know right off the rip what we were getting into.
Well, this is a first.
I'm learning.
The existence of blank?
So now your mind is racing. The comment section is going just haywire. There are people literally running out their door right now, screaming into the night, wondering what the actual F is coming through on these pages.
Oh, this has got to be good. Okay. The existence of blank until that humid summer night at Cincinnati's Oktoberfest 2023, and what started as a fun evening sampling different foods, drinks, and nearly became my last.
Look at that. Another tick on the Ohio map.
Yeah, it is Cincinnati. What up, Nasty Natty? What up, 513? I see you guys out there. I got to come up and get a bowl of y'all's chili sometime soon. The festival was winding down around 10 p.m. when I decided to walk off the heavy food and alcohol. The crowds had thinned, leaving mostly locals and a few dedicated revelers still nursing their steins. I wandered away from the main festivities towards the quieter streets, over the Rhine, enjoying the cool night air and the distant sound of polka music echoing off the historic buildings. Polka doesn't get enough love.
It has a time and place.
I just wonder,
Oktoberfest? Check.
how the F did trash polka tattooing become trash polka? Like, did someone come in like fucking, I want some red dots and some splashy red paint, but I want to listen to polka music while you do it. Like, call me uncouth, but I kind of like walked away from, like, once trash polka started becoming a thing, I was like, I don't really it's like live, laugh, love to me in the tattoo world. I like it, but it's just not for me. It's just not something I want to, it's just not something I really want to do. Not a lot of. Because, I got respect for polka music, but I don't want to listen to it while I'm tattooing.
I don't think you have to.
No, I think you actually do. It's not true trash polka unless you're listening to polka music. As a matter of fact, it's not true trash polka unless you have a polka band come in and play while you're getting the tattoo. That is something I do know, in fact. And they have to be, it has to be comprised of a group of trashmen who play polka music as their side job, their night hustle.
Sense to me.
That is trash polka. That's when I first saw him. Ooh. Oh, you edited it. Why would you edit it?
What do you mean?
First saw him.
I only blanked out. I only put the blank.
He was standing alone near the corner of Vine and 14th Street, perfectly still in a way that immediately caught my attention. While everyone else at the festival had been sweating in the September heat, this man looked impossibly cool and composed. He wore a dark, expensive-looking suit that seemed completely out of place at a casual festival, and his pale skin practically glowed under the streetlights. See, this has become a guessing game.
Suspenseful game.
Cody is literally looking at me like this.
I ain't giving you no nuggets of information.
He's like, Hannah, he's taking your story into his own hands. He is. Okay. All right. Enjoying the festivities? He asked as I approach, his voice carrying a slight accent that I couldn't quite identify. Eastern, European, maybe, but with an old world formality that seemed oddly anachronistic. Yeah, great turnout this year, I replied, though something about his intense stare made me uncomfortable. His eyes were an unusual pale blue, almost colorless, and they seemed to look right through me. I've been attending this ceremony for quite some time, he said, stepping closer, though it's changed considerably over the decades. I laughed nervously. Decades? You don't look old enough to have been coming here for decades. His smile revealed teeth that were too white, they were too perfect, with canines that seemed unnaturally sharp. Appearances can be deceiving, he said, softly. I'm much older than I look. This is a fucking vampire. This is a vampire. We got our first, and it's in Cincinnati? Huh. That's my guess. Chat, what do you think? I mean, it seems obvious, right? But we have been
At this point,
deceived.
it seems pretty obvious.
We have been. See, I don't like that. See, I don't like that. We have been deceived before. A chill ran down my spine despite the warm night. There was something predatory about the way he moved, circling me slowly, like a cat stalking a prey. I noticed he cast no reflection in the storefront windows we passed, and his footsteps made no sound on the concrete. I think we got our first vampire. I like it.
We're gonna have to make a trip to this Oktoberfest and keep an eye out.
Watch, like, the cruel irony is, like, we get our Google search wrong and we end up at Oktoberfest.
That reminds me of a story. So, trying to go to St. Patrick's Day parade in Dublin, Columbus, up there, and
I'm just thinking there's, like, one thing that rhymes with day. St. Patrick's Gay Parade.
well, no, we get up there and we're like, oh, it's on Main Street from this time to this time. We're driving, thinking, oh, we're gonna hit roadblocks anytime, block off the street. Like nothing. Driving down the whole, what the fuck's going on? I have to pull over, look. Fucking, the time frame was for Dublin, Ireland.
No, that sucks.
So there's just nothing going on. And we're just like, oh, fuck.
Oh, that sucks. I should head back, I said suddenly, desperate to return to safety of the crowds. My friends will be looking for me. I don't think so, he said, his voice dropping barely to a whisper. I can hear your heartbeat. You know, it's racing. Fear makes the blood taste so much sweeter.
Ooh.
Now, I know there's going to be a lot of book talky girls. Feral. Bunch of feminines. Feminine's energies. I know you're going to think, this is great. But this is still thick in the bind here. A lot can go wrong. My blood turned to ice. Before I could react, he moved with inhuman speed, grabbing my arm with fingers that felt like steel. His grip was impossibly strong, and his skin was cold as marble. Up close, I could see that his pale eyes held no warmth, no humanity, just an ancient, terrible hunger. You smell of life, he whispered, leaning closer. It's been so long since I've fed properly. These festivals always bring out the best prey. People who wander off alone, who won't be missed until morning. Ugh. God
We'll
damn.
have to look up and see if there's any, mysterious disappearances around Oktoberfests.
Or sightings. Similar sightings. Terror flooded my system. This couldn't be real. Vampires were fiction. Halloween costumes, they were cheesy movies. But his fangs were unmistakably real. They extended further, and I could feel no pulse, no breath, no sign of life from the creature holding me. That's when survival mode kicked in. I broke free from his grip and I ran. Not towards the festival, but deeper into the maze of over the Rhine's narrow streets. I could hear him behind me, his footsteps eerily silent, but his presence unmistakable. I burst onto Vine Street, sprinted towards the festival grounds, weaving between late-night stragglers and food vendors closing up their stalls. Behind me, I could hear screams as festival goers caught glimpses of my pursuer. Something about him was wrong enough that even the drunk revelers could sense it. His creepy, ominous laugh echoed from somewhere close behind me. I vaulted over the barricade and into the main festival area, my lungs burning. The Oktoberfest grounds were a maze of beer tents, food stands, and carnival rides. I dove between a bratwurst stand and a pretzel cart, using the confused vendors as cover. Though the gap, I saw him prowling the perimeter like a predator, his pale eyes scanning the crowd. Staying low, I crawled under the wooden platform of the main beer tent. Above me, dozens of people were still drinking and singing, oblivious to the supernatural hunt happening beneath their feet. I could hear him moving around the tent's edges, frustrated by the crowd and the lights. I waited until he moved to the far side, then made my break, sprinting towards the carnival section. The Ferris wheel's lights created shifting shadows that might give me cover, but as I ran past the funhouse, I saw his reflection in the mirrors, except there was no real reflection, just an empty glass, while the real form stalked between the mirrored panels. Clever. His voice came from everywhere and nowhere at the same time, but mirrors will not save you. I dove behind the ring toss game just as he appeared where I'd been standing. The teenage attendant screamed and ran, abandoning his post. I grabbed an armful of the heavy wooden rings and hurled them at the vampire. They bounced off harmlessly, but brought me precious seconds. This is intense.
There's other people that seen this guy. Like, I was worried like she'd be doing this and nobody even be like paying attention or something. But if other people are screaming, but then I guess if she's running, maybe she doesn't. They could have been screaming or whatever about something else, but it sounds
We ought to start a vampire hunting collective.
We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go there. September 18th to 21st.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's get.
And we're not going there to enjoy these festivities. We're going there for one reason.
Well, no, I'm going to and definitely enjoy festivities.
All right.
Like I'm going to, and if a vampire comes out, like we'll be like, "Holy shit!"
Whoa.
Good thing I brought like this wooden stake. like I forget. I'm just having a good time, and I use like a corn dog stick.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I sprinted towards the beer garden, desperate for safety of the largest crowd. Tables full of people were singing drinking songs, their voices carrying over the sounds of the chase. I wove between the long wooden tables, knocking over steins and causing confusion. The vampire followed, no longer trying to be subtle. People screamed and scattered as he moved with inhuman speed and grace, leaping over tables and pushing aside anyone in his path. A security guard tried to intervene and was casually tossed aside like a rag doll. I spotted the festival's main stage where a polka band was still playing. The bright stage lights might slow him down. Vampires halted to bright lights, right? I charged up the steps and across the stage, disrupting the band mid-song. The confused musicians scattered as I leaped off the back of the stage. "Nowhere to run," he called out, the voice now carrying a note of amusement. He was enjoying this. I found myself in the festival's maintenance area, a maze of generators, electrical panels, and equipment trucks. The darkness here was different. It was deeper, and I realized I had made a mistake. This was his element. This guy is just
I wonder
on
what everybody else
it.
was thinking.
Well, it seems like everybody was terrified. Everybody who's encountered this, is absolutely running, abandoning stations, getting tossed like rag dolls. Like ain't no one having fun here except this vampire. This is his element, she says. The pure darkness. Well, I wonder, like maybe, like he's also like, his draws power from electricity or something.
I don't know.
Like,
Never heard that really.
I'm just trying to guess. Who knows? This was his element. But then I saw it. grounds crew truck with its headlights on, engine running. The maintenance worker was nowhere to be seen. I dove into the driver's seat and gunned the engine, the powerful headlights cutting through the darkness. The vampire froze in the beam, his pale skin almost translucent in the harsh light. He raised his hands to shield his eyes, hissing in pain. "Turn off those lights!" Instead, I floored the accelerator. The truck launched forward, and for a moment, I thought I might actually have him. But he dissolved into a shadow just as the bumper reached him, reforming behind the vehicle. I didn't stop. I drove the truck straight through the festival barriers and onto the main street, horn blaring. Behind me, I could see him in the rearview mirror, standing at the edge of the festival grounds. He seemed unable or just unwilling to follow me beyond the festival's boundaries. I drove until I reached the well-lit downtown area near the Fountain Square, finally stopping outside a 24-hour diner filled with people. Only then did I realize I was shaking uncontrollably, my hands barely able to grip the steering wheel.
I want to say, like, it reacting to the truck lights. I'm just researching here, and if they were halogen bulbs, which are, very common nowadays, and they emit a bit of UV light,
Yeah.
so that could be.
So he's getting fried.
Yeah, he's actually feeling this and stuff, and it's. I thought, like, is he just the bright light just spooking him, or maybe he is
I don't know.
the UV in it that's.
But we are on the last page of this story.
Does she get away? I mean,
Chat, what do you think? What do you think in the chat? Let us know. Comment section, timestamp it. Don't listen to the whole story and guess. Guess now. Timestamp that bad boy so we could see. We could see your guess. I didn't sleep that night. Back in the hotel room, I researched everything I could find about vampires, about unexplained disappearances in Cincinnati, about anything that might explain what happened. I found scattered reports over the years of festival goers who'd simply vanished, their cases never solved. I also had to deal with the fact that I had stolen a maintenance truck. The next morning, I anonymously called in its location, cut my trip short, and headed back home, which was about an hour north of Cincinnati. I told everyone I'd had a panic attack and decided to leave early, but the truth was too unbelievable to share. Who would believe that vampires were real and hunting at Cincinnati's Oktoberfest, or that I'd managed to escape one through a wild chase across the festival grounds? Even now, months later, the rational part of my mind insists it was all a hallucination brought on by too much beer and the festival atmosphere. But my body knows better. I can still feel the adrenaline of that chase, still see those colorless eyes tracking me through the crowd. Still remember the terror of being hunted like prey through what should have been a safe festival environment. And sometimes, late at night, I wonder if he's still there, waiting at the edge of the festival grounds, unable to leave, but patient enough to wait for the next victim to wander too far from the light. That is terrifying. Vampires being amongst probably some of the most efficient and predominant, especially throughout history, in any tale told as absolute elite hunters, super strength, superpowers, which was all displayed in this story. That is relatively wild. And not the wild I like to keep. That is rather spooky. What do you think, Cody? What's your takeaway?
I feel like I need to do some researching, like she did, of any disappearances from festivals in the area. I think we'd go there and see if we can get something. I mean, if he's not showing up on in mirrors, and I know it's like a thing where they kind of won't show up on camera, it might be easy to just
scan the crowd.
Scan the crowds, and then what do we do though? Holy water.
Wouldn't stake it. Watch like we just made a mistake and we just like hop on some like we're doing society.
Honestly though, that's how it'll end up seeming. Like in the movies where they kill somebody, or like, I don't know how much it works on vampires, but you kill like a werewolf or something like that, and then like it transforms back into just a regular person, and then you're just standing there and being like, well, he was a werewolf, or he was a vampire, I swear. Everyone's like, nah, you just killed that man. Shoot.
Aw.
Oh. But we can manage somehow to get some evidence.
I think we can. I think we can. We'll get there. We will get like top of the line equipment. You know,
Yes.
I think we will.
Be cool.
Yeah. I mean, we already have a thermal camera. We see someone walk around with a cold signature.
Yeah, that too. That'd be really creepy.
You know.
I wonder if that would work. I wonder if because if it's not showing up on camera because of it's like just the lens and stuff. But what about the heat-seeking camera?
Right. Yeah, we already have a thermal camera. Maybe we just need a little help getting to Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
You know, that would
Be a
be
busy couple days.
scan the crowd. It just turns into like Holler Boys Gone
They're
Wild.
all just vampires.
Well,
The whole festival.
it turns out we're vampires.
We were just being this whole story and everything was just to lure us to this festival.
We like looked down at the camera.
Oh shoot!
Ah, shit!
They already got us. We didn't even know it.
All right, Cody. So what's your takeaway?
Well, I just wonder if she was like, what this could have been if not a vampire.
Do you think that there's any sort of possibility that she could have gotten? Oh, I don't know. Possibly
Laced with something?
could have.
Maybe.
Maybe. Because this seems like a very intense experience.
I would say at least very predatory of
Right.
whoever this guy was.
Right. But she says that there's reports of this type of stuff happening in Cincinnati.
Yeah, we'll have to
Oktoberfest.
look into that.
Yeah.
Disappearances or whatever.
Well, because that's something that we would like. I mean, if this is happening, then like that's something that would be. We started this channel to first explore people's near-death experiences. That's why we are the Near-Death Diary. But when it comes to the presence of ghosts, spirits, ghouls, who knows what happens to a spirit or what it transmutes into upon death? With enough pain, trauma, agony, whatever have you. And then there's plenty of people who are having like believable experiences. Who like so the near death diary has become kind of like not only an examination of people's firsthand stories, but it's kind of like
A melting pot.
for sure. And Cincinnati's within our area. If this type of stuff is happening, well, why don't we put ourselves there to see?
Yeah, if people are killing people, feeding on people,
Right?
go out there and put a stop to it, or at least
Do our
shine a light
best,
on it.
You know,
A very bright UV light on it.
right? Just Von Helsing, just become modern day Von Helsings.
I mean, yeah, it's a little out there, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that are out there. I mean, some of our stories, comments,
Yeah.
people be like, "You're just full of shit."
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna automatically write off something that just because I've not seen it.
Yeah.
And there's, I mean, how many stories throughout time of, vampires
Yeah.
and lore of other things.
Right.
Similar.
But and all over the world. You
Yeah.
know, like from essentially the dawn of time, as long as things have been able to be transcribed into writing, there are stories like there's all sorts of like fantastical stories within the Bible.
Well, isn't it what it was like the devil's something trick was?
Oh, the greatest trick the devil convinced us all, or
Yeah.
the greatest lie the devil ever told was that he didn't exist.
I think it was trick though, or something like that. The
Uh,
greatest. Fucking look.
I'm fairly sure it's lie, because I mean the devil is a liar. We'll see. We'll see.
Edit
Drum
it
roll.
in.
Drum roll. We're not editing anything. We're building the suspense.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
You sure it couldn't also be like construed?
I'm reading it. It's what it says. You were wrong.
Yeah,
I was
what-
right.
but
20
what
bonus
search-
points to me.
But what search words did you type in, Cody? Did you type in what you?
It says
what
the
you said?
quote. The quote. Blah 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 blah.
Ask Jeeves. I want to know what Jeeves has to say. It's owned by Bill Gates. Fuck, ask Jeeves.
Yeah, everything I'm seeing says it's the trick.
Greatest trick. Okay, whatever.
And the devil could be like just a thing for any sort of evil entity and
Right.
thing like that.
Well, if people are prone to believe that these entities, these demonic entities exist, what's to say that a lot of these stories like couldn't come from, the 33% of heaven that fell with Lucifer.
Mm.
If you're going to believe that there is great evil like the devil, which I believe in, then wouldn't you believe that his cohorts also walk earth? And couldn't the cohorts take many different forms, especially ones that have been transcribed? Whether, and a lot of people be like, well, vampires only existed since this story was told by this author. Okay. But there are also tales of things very similar that probably inspiration was drawn from in these original writings of vampires.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Bram Stoker's original, was like based on several different. I mean, it was Vlad Tepes and stuff, but it was also like different tales from
Yeah.
long ago and stuff. And
Yeah. There's definitely long told tales of what would be considered now vampiric beings, things that drained you of your energy, that were essentially all powerful by the comparison of human capability, much faster, like much stronger, like capable of like drifting in and out of night, flight, all of these things. Those stories are much older, and the modernized versions of them, I think
at
a
the
lot of
very least, we know that they do not sparkle in the sunlight.
you talking about like what's his name, Edward?
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Patterson. That guy though, you got to give him credit. Have you ever seen the movie The Lighthouse? And and I actually kind of liked the new Batman that he was in. It didn't last long, you know.
I
That
don't know
was
if,
a
I don't know if they're bringing him back or not for that.
that was an interesting
God,
modern
I wanted to
twist.
see Batfleck in his own movie. This is a hell of a.
You liked Ben Affleck as Batman?
Oh man, like that scene, the beginnings, the first Batman scene in Batman vs Superman, where he's in that cellar. That is like prime fucking comic.
Oh, you're talking about because it sucks so bad.
No, he's like climbing on the ceiling, and he's just like in the shadows. The cop doesn't even see him, and he was. If you were gonna like put a fucking Batman up against Superman,
Yeah.
he was a tank.
Yeah.
And then the other saving Martha Kent and just beating the fuck out of those
Yeah, I just wasn't a fan.
henchmen.
I wasn't a fan. Christian Bale, I think, was great.
He was. I think he would have done great. I think if they gave him his own movie, because he's a hell of a director, Ben Affleck, and I think he would have done an amazing job.
Eh.
I think the stories they gave him weren't the great, but it had parts where it shined through that he would have made a great, and he was a great Bruce Wayne. When the beginning of that movie, where all the buildings are coming down and everyone's running away, and he's the only one running into this carnage.
What I do know is that we had 3 fantastic stories tonight. That last one had me on the edge of my seat. That was very well written. I enjoyed that quite a bit, and that was close to home. That is another notch on the Ohio tally.
I think we had a Florida one before this one. I'm not remembering.
I'm not sure either.
I don't think so. I think this is the first Florida.
The first Florida story. Waiting for all sorts of Florida man stories to come in. It's like they're not even horror stories. They're just like crazy things your uncle did.
Well, we didn't advertise for being that kind of podcast, but
We will now accept crazy Florida man stories.
I mean, doesn't Florida man just right there almost like qualifying as paranormal?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's got like supernatural something, But guys, thank you for joining us. Let us know what you thought about this episode down there in the live chat and in the comment section. If you can, why don't you go and hit that subscribe button? That really, really helps. And once you punch the notification box up there, that's going to let you know anytime that we post anything here on the old tube. And we got to say, thank you for spending your evening with us. We work really hard on this podcast, and we love the content that we bring to you. And we are hoping to expand it even further, guys. And you can help us with that by going to our Patreon at Deadeye Two Tongues 740. All of our lovely paying Patreon members are going to be featured at the end of this episode. If you watch to the end here, you can also see me and Cody's social media links on how you can follow us. Thank you guys so much for being here. And if you are trying to write into our podcast and you are trying to get your story heard, then you can go to hellfirehollerpodcast@gmail.com. We're going to put that right here. You can go to that email and you can write in your story. And just like tonight, just like what you heard tonight, you can hear your story told and discussed by me and the Fogman, Mr. Cody himself. If you guys are enjoying our podcast, please consider going and subscribing. Cody, do you have any closing statements?
We will see you on another day. I can't remember what day this is airing.
Me either. Everything, it's like we're stuck in a time warp. It's like we're stuck in a whole alternate universe. We're going to have a story to tell people like on our own accord, sucked into the vortex of spooky storytelling podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Deadeye Two Tongues. With me, as always, is the faithful Fogman, Mr. Cody.
Farewell, everyone.
Chat, go join us on Discord After Party. If you want to join Discord, go to our Patreon, Deadeye Two Tongues 740. See you at the After Party. We love you guys. We hope you stay spooky. We hope you stay strapped. We hope you stay absolutely fucking wild.